Welcome to Brook and Bramble Farm Podcast
with Chris
and Micah,
where we talk about budget homesteading,
homemaking,
and whatever else is on our minds.
Hi.
We're back for the last week of February.
Yes, we missed a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was too hard to...
I'm sure we were missed. We are here to talk about fiber arts. I'm an expert on this subject because my great-grandmother invented knitting.
Janine Fiber Art. Yes.
Yes, her last name was actually Knitworth.
Knitly. Yeah, so this is something that Micah has already done somewhat. We haven't really delved into it a ton in terms of the production side of it, but that's coming because we are now Angora owners.
Proud Angora owners.
So we'll get into that in a little bit, like why we went with Angoras.
Yeah.
But yeah, fiber arts are something that I think a lot of homesteaders do. They are something that we want to do more. Mm-hmm. And they're one of those things that's like it's like a quintessential skill in all of human history that everyone always knew how to do. Mm-hmm. There was never like a home, maybe like really, really even really, really wealthy people.
Oh yeah, they would sit and do their embroidery.
They would knit and embroider, yeah.
Yeah.
It was or not knit, weave and embroider. Weaving
knitting
was
later, right? That wasn't invented until more recently.
Yeah, but weaving has been around. Fun fact, weaving is one of the oldest skills known to man.
Mm-hmm. Weaving is a man's game.
It is actually.
I know.
There were times when, up and through the Middle Ages, men were the primary weavers. But that it hasn't changed much for thousands of years. Like the way that it's done. It's done more quickly now because we have machines that can do it. But the loom in general is still roughly the same device. It's just automated nowadays. Mm-hmm. We have not found a better way to weave.
Wow.
Than what was invented thousands of years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was our fun fact.
I used to have an embroidery account online, and I would sell custom embroidery, like hand embroidery, just in like an embroidery hoop. I would frame it within the hoop. And I used to sell mostly custom wedding bouquets. Like people would send me a picture of their bouquet.
Or pets.
I would also do pet portraits, but I like the bouquets. The pet portraits I would do, like, you know how embroidery floss is like twisted with 6 strands?
I don't.
I would have to untwist the whole piece of thread and get just like one single strand out of the floss.
Oh,
for the pet hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do that in the flowers too, but sometimes you could get away with a couple more for like bigger flowers and stuff. But very, very detailed stuff. I actually loved doing that, but I haven't done that in a while just because at a certain point I had a waiting list that was like 11 months out and it just got ridiculous and then I didn't have time.
Yeah, plus, waiting lists are stressful when you have like back orders for things.
Yeah.
They get a little stressful. I mean, it's nice that people liked your embroidery so much that they were willing to wait for months and months.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
It tells you that your skill set is in demand.
I should probably do that again just so I don't lose because I gained a lot of skill over the years, like looking back at my original ones and then ones I did later. And I don't want to do you think that's something I could lose?
Probably. Well, I think...
Or is it like riding a bike?
No, I think so. Even riding a bike, though, like, you don't lose the basic skill of how to do it. What you lose is the finesse of the higher level skill.
Higher level biking?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you won't forget how to embroider, but you're going to forget all the little techniques that you use to make it faster. True. Or to make it more precise or things like that if you don't use those, you lose them, but you won't forget how to embroider. You'll still be able to embroider stuff. It just, your quality goes up the more often you do it.
People used to, or they still do actually, ask, how do I get started? Like, how do I learn how to embroider? And I don't really know what to say because I basically just like looked at pictures of embroidery and figured it out. But I think there's
books.
a lot on YouTube.
There's a lot on YouTube, and there's a lot of books that like break down the various embroidery knots and show you in like a diagram the tie for the knot, like so that you can see how it's done. Things like that. And I think that comes down to really wanting to do it and really wanting to learn how to do it.
I was just thinking about that account today
Your old
yesterday because somebody who blocked me on it was liking my posts.
They blocked you?
So I'll do a really quick story time because it has nothing to do with anything. But so she was like an online friend. She had like a bigger embroidery account. And embroidery, it's tricky online because like embroiderists, I feel like I don't really fit in with the modern embroiderists.
Yeah.
They like to like embroider like shocking quotes and like swear word, like cross stitch.
Yeah, sure.
Things. I don't know. But she had a bigger account and we were kind of like, we would chat back and forth. But then I used to do like meme Mondays and I would post memes that I thought were funny. And I never, just like my account now, I never posted anything political at all. But I posted this one meme on Monday one time, and it was like a turkey meme about, it was in 2020. And it said, because we're only allowed to have 6 people over for Thanksgiving, but we can have 30 people over for a funeral. I invite all my family and friends to a turkey funeral. And I just thought it was silly, but she said it was really insensitive. And she gave me this long message telling me I needed to read my Bible. And then
I remember that.
And then she blocked me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? That's fine.
Right.
That's also crazy. But anyway. So what are the other fiber arts that we can do? You said weaving. There's crochet.
Well, I mean, the ones that we know how to do.
There's sewing.
Like I've run a couple of runs of a loom myself.
You have? When?
Yeah, I have. When we were setting them up upstairs.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I took a weaving class. I guess Chris helped set up the looms.
Yep.
And I took 2 classes actually on weaving on a floor loom, really which was cool. So cool. I think when we have our attic done, we'll have a loom up there.
Yeah, like a full-size one. We have a loom right now, actually.
We have a tiny miniature.
Yeah, we have a loom the size of a small
loom.
laptop. But
I think it'd be great to have one.
Yeah, I do too. I think looms are really cool, especially if we get into more fiber animals.
It's hard to wrap your head around. Like, it looks like you should be able to just sit down and, like people make it look easy when they're doing it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it's extremely involved.
It's involved, and like just setup alone of a loom is very time consuming, and it's got to be so accurate for it to work. And the wider it gets, the more attention to detail you need. So... yeah, but I really can appreciate a loom. I just think it's so cool that we're still using looms that were developed in like, Roman times. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So yeah, weaving. There's a couple. There's like the production side of fiber arts that actually people strictly do that. They'll make they'll be spinners, so they'll card wool. They'll sell raw wool. They'll sell raw. Or they'll sell. Yarns and threads. You don't necessarily have to be like doing the actual fiber art itself. There's the whole supply side of it that's pretty cool too. Dyeing, I would love to learn how to dye wool using alum and various natural dyes.
Like onion peels people do.
Yeah, but there's a whole chemical process to that has been in existence for thousands of years. You treat it with alum, which is like a dye preparation for the wool. or the fiber so that the dye, it's a fixative. Maybe it's a fixative. So you dye it and then you soak it in alum. I don't know how exactly it works. Someone's going to comment maybe and tell us how it actually works. But
I hope so.
The alum is part of the process that permanently dyes the material. So if you don't use the alum, the material starts to fade, but the alum starts to keeps the material color in the material, which is pretty cool. So there's weaving, tatting,
Yes.
making lace.
You just learned what that is.
I've seen people do it. I didn't know it was called tatting.
Yeah, there's lace making, which we saw, and we didn't really see lace making, but we saw handmade lace in Belgium. And it's wild to think about how long it actually takes. What did it say when in the show when Ruth Goodman's trying to learn how to... Which farm was that?
That was Victorian farm, I think. But she goes to the lady who's a lace maker, and they said a tablecloth made of lace was the better part of a year's work for a lace maker. And that would be a year's work, probably working 6 days a week on it.
And doing a tablecloth, I mean, maybe they didn't eat on their tablecloths back then. Maybe it was like a parlor tablecloth to like just be pretty. Yeah, that's a long time.
Or you're really wealthy and you don't care.
Maybe, yeah.
Because back then labor was cheap. But anyway, lace making is fascinating, and it's something that if you ever wanted to learn how to do, you would be like the only person.
Yeah, you should learn now before everybody who knows how to make lace is dead. Yeah,
we that's the only place I've ever seen it being done by hand is in Belgium. All the rest of it's all machine-made lace.
I bought a piece of handmade lace.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where it is.
It looks like the little Bruges tower.
Oh, that's right.
And I think it says Belgium on it, or Bruges.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah, the bell tower in the square. So
our daughter is taking a knitting class and a sewing class, and she just made a skirt. She likes knitting better. She wants to keep going with knitting, and she wants to teach me. She actually is so cute. She's like, "Mom, do you want to knit with me? I can teach you." And when I said I would knit with her this afternoon, she got so excited. She actually started like shaking and wiggling with excitement.
Wow.
It was so cute.
Oh, Margot.
So I actually ordered some more yarn so that I can knit with her some more.
Do you have knitting needles?
She said she would lend me some, which was very kind
is she
of her.
lending them to you, or is she renting them to you?
I think it's lending.
Gotcha. So yeah, knitting is one of those things that was developed fairly recently, but
do we know when?
I don't.
That would be a fun fact.
We could potentially find out.
Okay, you look it up while I sing a song about knitting. I'm just kidding.
But it's actually something that, along with crochet, is something you can just kind of do in your spare time. And I think that goes on to our next point, which is like I know people have been like, oh, I wish I could do fiber stuff or do something with some fiber animals or whatever. And you could just do fiber arts simply at home. And I think knitting and crochet are probably the two most accessible ones for people, correct?
Or embroidery.
Embroidery is pretty accessible.
Actually, embroidery is the most accessible because the supplies are so cheap.
Oh, that's true.
That's why I got so into it, because knitting can get expensive with all the yarn.
Yeah.
Yarn can be kind of pricey if you need multiple skeins. But embroidery is really cheap. Like a hoop is like $1, and then the thread is like 30 cents each. Unless prices have gone up, I haven't bought it.
Or if you go to a yard sale and find a lady with an entire... So crochet is the one that's fairly recent. It was developed in the early 19th century. Knitting was developed between 500 and 1200 AD.
Really?
Yeah. So we're still finding knitted artifacts. So apparently knitting holds up over time if we're finding artifacts that were knitted over 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, those three, I think if you were looking for something to just kind of do without a huge investment and just investment in your time, essentially.
And embroidery, you could even do, like, you don't even need a hoop. Well, I guess you do need a hoop for the tension, but you can, like, embroider little things on your clothes.
That's what it originally was for.
Like little flowers on the hem of your dress.
Like, we do embroidery nowadays. Like, that's partly what's funny about, like, people who are embroidery, aficionados, is that we're buying embroideries as an art form by itself, like in a hoop. Mm-hmm. But originally embroidery was just a decoration.
Right.
Like, you had embroiderers that their job was, like, once the weavers were done and the clothes makers were done, or the shoemaker or whoever, they would, if the garment was sufficiently expensive, they would send it off to an embroiderer, and he would embroider, like, details into it in gold thread or whatever you had paid him to do, and it was an embellishment to an existing artist's work, mm-hmm. which I think is really cool. Like, I like that kind of stuff where there's a level of it that they just use it as a decoration. I think that's really cool. It's cool that it's an art form by itself, like that you can make embroideries that you just hang on the wall as art. But I'm saying, I think
you're trying to backtrack?
No.
It's so weird that now it's art. But
well, no, because it's
cool.
Strictly art nowadays for the most part.
Usually, but not necessarily.
But it's very rarely, because nowadays we have machines that embroider.
Yeah, that's true.
So we don't tend to do it on clothing. And so I think it's cool when
you can always tell, though. Or I can, if
when it's hand done.
Machine done or hand
done. Oh, yeah. Machine done is way too compact.
When it's done by hand.
Yeah, and they're the same designs over and over again when they're done by machine. Mm-hmm. No, I think it's really cool when someone just uses embroidery to embellish something else instead of just using it by itself. Mm. It's a multifaceted skill. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are the ones that we're the most familiar with. What are your sources of inspiration for wanting to be a fiber artist or work with fiber?
Well, originally, when I was a kid or a teenager, between a kid and a teenager, I used to sew, like, stuffed animals and stuff. I would sew stuffed animals and give them to my friends.
Did they appreciate them?
I don't know. Probably.
Do you think they still kept them all?
I don't know. I made one of my friends a walrus.
Well, it worked out though, because you ended up making stuffed animals for our kids.
Yeah. So I'm glad I have those skills, because I've been able to sew, like, if I need to repair a garment or sew something simple, I can do that pretty easily. I am not great at pattern following. I never really got into, like,
You're not a pattern follower?
Well, you know how I eyeball everything. Like, when I'm baking, I barely measure baking powder. Like, I just kind of wing everything.
It's more fun to wing it.
It's lazy, honestly, but it's just how I work when I don't have a lot of time, and I never have a lot of time. So I think I could get better at following patterns, or just learn how to do it at all.
I should have asked you instead.
But
what are your greatest weaknesses? Just kidding.
Because those are actually my strengths.
I try too hard.
I care too much.
I care too much.
I also learned how to do the embroidery because I wanted to make a crazy quilt. Have you ever seen a crazy quilt?
I have seen a crazy quilt.
That's just like bits of rags.
The antique fair occasionally has one floating around.
I was kind of obsessed with those and wanted to make my own. And so I got books about crazy quilts and just looked at they're all stitched together with embroidery on all the edges of the fabric, and it's all different. And so I was just looking at pictures in that book and trying to figure out how to make them.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that's another one of those, the embroidery was used as the stitching.
Yeah. And I did most of a crazy quilt, but I never pieced the pieces together.
It comes back. I saw a reel today or the other day, and it was take us back to the day when even everyday objects were made to be beautiful. And there was a picture of a door strike that was inside of a door that no one ever saw unless the door was sitting open, and it was all engraved.
Well, didn't you see my reel I made
today? I
did
see your reel today.
About how I think food labels.
I
need to
think
be
it's
pretty
because
again.
I watched your reel that the algorithm was like, he will also be interested in this.
Well, it's like a whole societal thing, like an issue with
degradation.
everything being ugly now.
Yeah, and the thing is that up until that's a very, very modern thing. Like even in the days of like really, really poor people living in squalor, like when they dig those things up in archaeological digs, they find their objects from these like little hovels, and like everything they find is decorated.
Yeah.
Like
Do you think they were just bored?
I think they were bored. I think they had whole periods of time where they couldn't go outside. Like, could you imagine living in 5 feet of snow or 4 feet of snow somewhere and you didn't have a snow shovel and you didn't have a snowblower or a plow? Like, no one to plow you out. Your animals all lived on the other end of your house with you. So you didn't need to, like, really go outside for them. So, like, what did you do? You just hung out inside and tried to stay warm.
Patterns into all your furniture.
Right. So, I think that there's parts of society that have destroyed that in the name of mass production, and it's ruined a lot of stuff. So anyway, I like to talk about the qualities of natural fibers because we're not crunchy, like in terms of like we're not super crunchy. We want to be more.
We lean
holistic.
crunchy.
We're
crunchy aspiring.
We're crunch leaning,
but we also don't like. I don't think we want to be full crunch to the point where we couldn't go to someone's house and eat off a paper plate or something.
Yeah, like that wouldn't. It's not.
I think we want to be crunchy but gracious.
Gracious crunchy.
And realistic.
And we're not above like having some Nutella every now and then.
And I'm not going to buy organic groceries until our house is paid off.
And I'm not going to...
Somebody told me, this was like, I didn't get mad about it, but I was like, that's kind of a silly thing to say. Somebody told me, stop shopping at Walmart and just grow all your own food. I was like... Thank you. That is clearly an end goal. I cannot go from just starting to garden 2 years ago to not shopping at a grocery store.
Not only that, madam, but I have yet to find bacon plant seeds.
Yeah, that too.
Like there's...
You can grow vegetables.
That sounds great when someone says it to you, but I guarantee you they're not growing all their own food.
But also, I am pretty positive she would not have said... Stop shopping at Trader Joe's.
Or stop shopping
at... the fact that it was Walmart kind of set her off.
But the reality is we can't...
But Trader Joe's is just all the same. Like, any store, like...
Even the health food stores.
I'm sorry.
Don't get me started on organic...
that much better.
Organic garbage.
If you're buying pasteurized whole milk at one store... Walmart pasteurized whole milk, it's the same thing. It comes from...
the farms.
The cow farms, the big cow farms.
And it's a lot cheaper.
So I don't think, like, Walmart... Like, if maybe Trader Joe's, the label looks a little nicer.
Yeah, it looks more natural.
But...
It'll be like Trader Joe's milk will have, like, a craft paper label on it.
If you think you're healthier shopping at Trader Joe's, you might be kidding yourself.
Yeah, well, the other thing about, certain things that people will say to us is that they assume we live nearby someplace that we can just go shop reasonably.
True, yeah, Walmart's what we have.
Walmart is, and even that, like, I think there are people who live in, like, suburbia that, I'm sure there are people who live in suburbia that follow you and like what you do, and that's great. But there are some people who don't understand, like, it is a 35 to 40 minute trip for us just to get to a Walmart. Mm-hmm. We have a small store nearby that carries a lot of the same stuff, but it's more expensive. Mm-hmm. Trader Joe's for us is a nearly hour-long trip just to go there and an hour-long back. Health food stores are just unaffordable for us. No. I'm sorry. It is ridiculous when you walk into a health food store and they are selling Quaker Oats, the same Quaker Oats that Walmart sells, for $7.
Yeah.
Just because it's a health food store. It's the same oats.
It's the same oats, guys.
Same oats. But anyway,
So,
that was our
say
crunchy.
What you were gonna say.
My crunchy. That was my. I was trying to say
a crunch disclaimer.
Yeah, that was our crunch disclaimer. I'm not gonna disparage people who want to go more crunchy because we do too.
We do too.
That's our goal. But
After
we also are realists.
Are out of our mortgage debt.
Yeah, we're realists too.
Yeah.
We're not gonna bankrupt our children and take everything away from them just so that we can feel like we're eating a little crunchier.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I was gonna say is that natural fibers, as opposed to synthetic fibers, because I know this is a level of like, there are crunchy attributes to synthetic fibers that crunchy people don't tend to like, right? I think synthetic fibers have their place. I think our police departments would be really, really lost without their Kevlar. Like, that is a synthetic fiber that has saved thousands of people's lives.
Okay.
I would be hard pressed to find anyone after about 1700 that wool has saved their life, or silk.
How does Kevlar save their lives? I'm sorry.
Kevlar is what's inside their bullet resistant vests.
Oh, okay.
It's woven and pressed tightly, and it will stop a handgun round.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, anyway, but there are some really
wool
cool...
might save someone's life from hypothermia, though.
Yeah, but so anyway, my point is that there are attributes to synthetic fibers that I think are really cool. Nylon has some really, really cool features to it that other wool fibers don't necessarily have, one of them being incredible strength. But anyway, there are some really cool things that I really like about natural fibers that I think is why we're leaning towards being more like fiber artists with natural fibers. One of them is that they grow on animals that you have anyway, which is really cool. Like, you can have a multi-purpose sheep that has wool, milk, and you can raise them for meat. Like,
yeah,
that's a cool, like, holistic kind of thing you can do. But there's also some things that make them absolutely superior to just about any synthetic fiber out there. One of them is that wools, especially sheep wool, I don't know about alpaca, but it's probably very similar. Any animal that spends a lot of time in the cold and rain, their wool tends to be just as insulative when it's soaking wet as when it's dry. And that's something that most synthetic fibers can't do. So wool retains 80% of its insulation power or insulation value, even when it's soaked all the way through. So wool is, ironically, so my dad was a New York State forest ranger, and the state, because they only had to equip like 180 rangers at the time. There weren't that many forest rangers in the whole state, but they only had to equip, because they only had that many to equip, they didn't have, like, their budget for that was not as stringent as, say, it is for state police, because they have to do it for thousands of people. So they could get them anything that they wanted. And the coolest thing is they bought them Johnson Woolen's solid wool woven coats. Because if you're going to be in the rain looking for some lost person in the mountains, they wanted them to be wearing wool.
Yeah.
To keep them warm. And so I think wool has got some really cool features to it.
I do want to move towards more natural fibers. I like cotton.
Cotton is really cool.
Linen. But those aren't animal fibers.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to grow them.
Plant fibers don't have the same, like, insulation capability.
No, but they are, like,
Linen
better. Like, they've studied how, like, your body reacts to certain, like, on your skin. Like, linen's healthier for you.
Yeah.
Than wearing polyester.
Oh, sure.
And it doesn't have all those yucky chemicals in it.
Well, I think this year I'm going to try to plant some linen in our field. Or not linen. Some linen seeds.
We're
flax.
Gonna thresh it. What's it called when you, like, scrape it?
It's very complicated. You have to dry it, then crack it, and then scrape it through the combs. And
yeah, that'd be cool.
It's going to be cool if we get anything out of it.
We should talk about our bunnies.
We should. So, Micah, as the last podcast alluded, or was it 2 podcasts ago?
No, we've talked about bunnies before.
The bunnies, Angoras.
But we got them mostly for their cuteness. But we didn't want to just have, because we have a thing where we like our animals to give back to us. And these are, unless you're going to get meat rabbits, which would be fine, I guess, but we wanted a rabbit to be able to keep. And so we chose the English Angoras because they're so fluffy. And they've been a little bit of a learning curve. We thought the girl was pregnant. She's not, which is kind of a relief because it's so cold outside for baby bunnies. But maybe we'll try for baby bunnies in summer. And I'm going to shave them too because as I'm learning how to groom them, they've gotten a few mats and stuff, and I've just been kind of like trimming them out or trying to comb them out, and it's a whole thing. So I'm gonna shave them and start fresh because you're supposed to get like a blower to like blow their fur, like a dog grooming
Really?
thing. Yeah, she told me that when I picked up the bunnies. She's like, the blower is really helpful, and I didn't really know what she was talking about. But then on the
That's for
bunny
turbocharged
forums,
bunnies.
I was like, okay, cool, yeah. On the bunny forums, they talk about the blower too, and it's supposed to really
The blower.
help. Yeah.
The bunny blower. It's on Walmart, aisle 36, next to combs and curling irons.
I think after I give them their springtime shave,
you should try curling
I'm gonna
iron on the bunnies.
No, I'm gonna invest in a blower, and as it grows back in, I think I can maintain it a little better. But their hair is so soft.
And it's very fluffy.
We're going to be able to make some fun things out of it, I think.
Mittens for dolls.
Mittens and scarves and hats.
Yeah.
And bunny sweaters.
Yeah.
We can make them a sweater out of their fur and then make them wear it again.
So one of them is gray and one of them is white. Are we keeping them in separate bags or are we going to mix them together?
I've been keeping them in separate bags because the white fur you can dye different colors.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The gray fur you can dye too, but it'll just be brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, we those are our current fiber animals, but we are going to try.
Chris wants to get sheep someday.
I do. I so want to get sheep.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Why?
Because I feel like they're so sickly.
They're the only creature on God's green earth looking for the fastest way to die.
That's what they say. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a whole... Because we have friends with sheep, and I always hear stories about, like, oh, this one has...
The consumption...
Measles.
Measles. This one has a bad case of
I was trying
plague.
to think of scurvy. What's a
scurvy?
What's a sheep?
We've been feeding them enough oranges.
Typhoid fever.
Cholera.
Leprosy.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have problems.
Yeah, I mean, goats do too, but we've had issues with some of our goats, but...
We can't fatten two of them up.
Two of them won't fatten up. If anyone out there knows how to fatten up goats when another goat is hogging them all...
The food.
All the food, not the goats. Yeah. So...
anything else we should ramble about?
Oh, we were going to talk about, like, how do people, if they wanted to do fiber arts, because for some people it's not as accessible, and I get that, you know, like people who live inside of a city somewhere, they probably would have access to a fiber festival somewhere, potentially, or maybe not. Maybe cities like rec halls or whatever don't have enough of an interest to bother trying to do something like that. But near us, we have a fiber festival twice a year.
No, once a year.
Once a year. We have a fiber festival. It's only 15 minutes.
There's also
from
a
us.
Fiber tour, and you can travel to different fiber farms.
Oh, near us.
Like around the county.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah. And they may have something like that near you. But again, it comes back like Facebook groups have huge followings.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Library
but I mean, if you want to like
books.
actually meet people and talk about fiber, because there's only so much you're going to learn by reading someone telling you how to do something. There comes a point, I think, when you just need to put your hands on something and talk to someone while you're holding something in your hand, you know?
Yeah.
And doing it, and then have them show you.
I don't ever feel a need for that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, because you're an introvert and you don't like to talk to people. That's a problem.
I like to text people.
I like to send snail mail letters to people, to my pen pals, my fiber pen pals.
No, I actually do have a lot of friends who knit and weave, and like we have a lot of talented fiber friends.
Yeah.
So I guess if I really needed to ask someone about something, I would have them there.
Yeah, and people may not have that near them.
But I do like to carve my own way, find my own path.
Well, that's kind of the fun of it, right? Is like learning. You've discovered a love of learning lately.
Lately, a love of learning lately.
A lately love of learning.
Live, laugh, love.
We will not be making that as an embroidery. Just FYI. So yeah, where would we like to go with our journey in fiber arts?
Europe.
Well, that's cool. Honestly, I would love to go see like a traditional woolen mill in Europe.
What did you mean though? Where would we like
where
to
do
go?
we want to like see? Where do you see yourself fiber wise in 10 years?
I was just thinking about the Fiber Festival, and it would be cool to have a booth there with her, because there used to be an Angora booth at the Fiber Festival.
Yeah.
And they would like have the little things they made, and they would actually bring rabbits, and you could buy the rabbits if they had some for sale. And they that farm is no longer operational.
Oh.
So I thought maybe there's a little opening for
a little way to weasel our way in there
for our bunny people
with weasels. Oh,
but that's not going to be anytime soon because I'm just learning and I don't have anything we made
and we have
out
2
of
rabbits.
Angora, and we have 2 rabbits. So if they're compatible and we can breed them, it could be cool to start a little Angora thing. But
Yeah.
That's,
if anyone
I have
out
no idea if
there
that's realistic or not.
lives near New York and in the next 5 years is thinking to yourself, I would love an Angora bunny. Well, maybe we can have one for you in 5 years.
We do not know, but it's possible.
It's possible. We'll start a waiting list sign up for future Angoras. They will be a mixture of gray and white.
I think they'll come out one or the other. Kind of like Lady and the Tramp's puppies.
Splotchy.
How most of them look like Lady, and then there was one that looked like Tramp.
Yeah.
You know.
I base my genetics on cartoons
or like,
as well.
In the Muppets, when they're like imagining their future, and they had like the pink frogs.
Oh, yeah.
Pink frog babies, and then the
Kermit
green
and Miss
pig.
Piggy.
The green pig baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's exactly
That's
how genetics work.
That's probably how it'll happen.
Yeah, it works just like the Muppets. If anyone out there is listening, it's still at this point, just know that we base all of our future rabbit hopes on Muppets breeding program.
Every fact we've included in this podcast came from Muppets information.
Yes. So, on that bombshell, if you guys want to correct any of this information, please feel free to send us an email and really let into us on our.
But not about the Muppets, because we know all that's factual.
We are fact checking all the Muppet facts as we go, and that is current as of today.
What movie was that from? When they have the babies in
Muppets,
it's like they're dreaming.
Is it Muppets Most Wanted?
They're singing a song. It's a song number. I think it's Great Muppet Caper.
Oh.
When they're like walking by the lake, maybe,
Yeah.
and they're like talking about their future.
Yeah.
I can almost remember the song.
This is very important, but I agree.
And it's like in front of that cute little cottage with the thatched roof. It's like a famous... Okay, I need to stop. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, day, morning, whatever it is.